Hello, what's happening? Matt aka Lethal Frag here, and we're doing the second part in my best use of classes series from all the great response I got on my poll video. And we're talking about Engineer today. And I'm not using Engineer in this video, but Engineer is by far my most used class. And I think the Engineer adds the most value to your team. I think you have the most tools to benefit your team using the Engineer class. I don't think they necessarily have very good guns. Granted, I have not unlocked them all, but it seems in comparison to like a support or an assault, they don't have the best guns, so you have to make use of the tools that you do have. And now what you do have is you have the ability to shoot down aircraft. I also put up a poll video asking the best way to shoot down aircraft. And the reason I haven't done a follow-up video for that is that I have not gone and tried out all the amazing theories that people have, told me to go try. Though I'm getting there. But I have noticed that I win more games as an engineer when I do shoot down aircraft. And not just shoot down aircraft, but, make a conscious effort to shoot down everything. And on top of shooting down aircraft, you can also take out, land vehicles. It's really on a map-to-map basis, and you have to customize your kit accordingly depending on what map you're playing. On a map like Caspian Border, you're probably better off shooting down aircraft than you are trying to take out tanks. But, on other maps where it's a lot more vehicle heavy, this one would be a great example, you're a better benefit to your team trying to take out all the tanks. You really can't put a number value on what this does for the game. I think people that are good tank pilots, just good ground pilots are incredibly brutal and, hard to get past, but if you have a couple good engineers on your team, you can do a really effective job taking out those vehicles. I've also noticed it's very effective, for me at least, when you're playing in a squad. If there's two engineers that are trying to do the same thing, a tank goes down a lot quicker if you have two engineers shooting at it. And the same goes for aircraft. If you have two people shooting, for obvious reasons, one of them gets rid of the flare and the other one hits the, hits the plane or helicopter, it's much more effective. Once again, this goes back to, adding the most value to your team that you can. And for Engineer especially, this does not always equal the highest score game for you. Engineers rarely have the highest scores on the game, though they can be a huge determining factor on the best statistic in any game, which is win-loss. It's very important that those vehicles get taken out, get taken care of. And, on top of taking out vehicles, you can also heal your teammates' vehicles. And this is incredibly important if you see, the tanks getting messed up by somebody else. Very important that, you whip out your blowtorch and, go heal that up. Engineer is obviously the best class to pilot with as well, because you can hop out and heal yourself if needed. Although it's incredibly dangerous and you do die a lot, it's a very effective way, to do things. Engineer is definitely my favorite class. It's definitely the one I see myself using the most, though I am going to level up the other classes and, give them a solid shot. I think I'll always be an engineer. It's not about the guns, it's not about the firepower, it's about adding utility and, diversity to your team and being able to take out the enemy aircraft or land vehicles or whatever it may be. I really think engineer adds the most value. And while there is such a thing as, too many engineers on a team, it's definitely good to have, 2, 3, 4 engineers on a team, or even 2 in a squad, so they can work together and, take out those aircraft. So if you haven't given engineer a shot yet, definitely go give it a shot. It's, once you master the class, which I haven't done yet, but, once you really learn the ins and outs of the engineer class, you're going to be adding a lot of value to your team. You're going to be winning a lot more than you are losing if you're playing engineer the right way. You're on a good team. On a good team, the engineer is really the backbone of what drives everything to win. You have these huge maps, and all those little efforts add up really quick. Well, that's about all I got. Frag out.